Courtesy of Banggood.com, they were nice enough to send me out the brand new Eachine EX1 brushless double GPS Wi-Fi 1080p quadcopter. Now I'm not quite sure if it's got double GPS in the quadcopter itself. It does come ready to fly, and with that 1080p HD camera, it's detachable and you can put an SD card in the side here. Let me just get it out for you. I've just put a small 8 gig in, but the maximum you can put in is 128 gig, so that's quite a lot. And underneath you can see the Wi-Fi antennas here. Now it is a 5G Wi-Fi quadcopter, so you're going to need a mobile phone or tablet that is capable of accepting 5G, and that's 802.11ac. Now the max distance you'll get on the Wi-Fi is around maybe 200 meters or so, depending. So we'll put it on. Basically you just slide it at the bottom and push it on, and that's you. And if you want to take it off, you just push the button and that's it off. Simple and easy as that. So we'll just leave the camera there. I'm not quite sure of the field of view of the camera. Now let's come down to the props. The props are, if you can see here, they're lettered A and B, so you know where they go. In the manual it tells you where the prop goes, so just look at the manual and you get a little prop tool, and you will need to use this the first time round, because I can tell you putting the props on for the first time is really difficult, and they're really stiff. So the easiest way to do it is if you just pop the prop tool down this way, down to the bottom, then push it in and just start turning slowly until you get that prop tightened up all the way down. Just make sure it's quite tight and snug, but don't overly do it. And there you go, that's you done. I've put the rest of the props on just to make life a lot easier. The size of the props are 150 millimeters long. The motors are 1806 motors, 2300 kilovolt motors in here, and the shaft width is 5 millimeters. From motor shaft to motor shaft, 250 millimeter diagonally. The ESCs in the quadcopter are 2-cell 12 amp ESC LiPo battery, which is a proprietary LiPo battery. You charge it up using a little micro USB cable, and you do get a charging cable with it, and that's it here. I would highly recommend that you use a wall socket to charge the battery up rather than a laptop. It took about just over 2 hours to charge the battery up for me. The weight of the battery itself is 109 grams. It's not marked at all. It's a 2-cell LiPo, 7.4 volt, 2000 milliamp, okay? And the length of the battery is 95 millimeters, the width of the battery is 35 millimeters, and the thickness of the battery is 21 millimeters. Flying time, that you would get out of this is anywhere between, they say, 15 minutes and 17 minutes, but that's yet to be seen, as I've not flown the quadcopter outside because I've not had time to do so. Now, plug it in, it's rather easy. You just, well, let me show you something first. If you want to have a look in here, you can see the pins, and can you get a closer look? Is my light going to show you? No, it won't. Never mind. Anyway, we just slot the battery in like so. Now, I must admit, it is really difficult. I thought taking the battery out the bugs to see was hard, but this is even worse. If you've cut your fingernails the night before, or you've got long fingernails, you're in for trouble, because trying to get out, you need to push this, and it's really, and I mean really stuck in there. Can I get this? It's nothing to do with strength, it's to do with, it's just how awkward it is to get it out. And there you go. Now, you've seen how long it took me to get the battery out there. I would highly recommend that you have at least just a little flathead screwdriver or something flat, just to grasp underneath. Let me push it back in. You see that little groove right there once you're pushing that little tab in. But let me just set that there for the moment. Now, the quad itself is very, I mean, it's very tough. The legs don't bend at all. You have blue LED lights to the front and red LED lights to the back, and you get your nice little rubber feet. Whoops, I'm off camera here, sorry about that. Little rubber feet at the bottom for when you are landing. It's basically just like a Bugs. I'd say it's a miniature Bugs. That's what I would say. Let me just go over some of the specifications of the quadcopter. It is a GPS quadcopter, of course. It's got altitude hold as well. Now, if the battery's running low, it will return to home. If you lose signal, it will return to home. You also have a return to home button on the transmitter, and it has something that's called an electrical fence, which you can turn on and off using the transmitter with this little switch here. Now, the electrical fence is, if you fly to 300 meters, not up, but if you fly 300 meters away, it will stop and it will return back to you. But before it does return, it will raise up 30 meters, then come back to you. And the electrical fence also is 100 meters in height, so just keep that in mind. You can turn it off, but this is basically a beginner aerial footage drone for somebody that just coming into the hobby. The total weight of the quadcopter, including battery, camera and all the props, is 380 grams. So that's quite a good weight for a quadcopter. Now let me just take the quadcopter out of the way. I've showed you the cable. You do get a screwdriver, and you also get only 2 extra props, an A and a B prop, and that's it. Don't forget to use that tool when putting the props on. And you also have your phone holder here, which attaches you to the transmitter, and we're going to do that just now. Let me just bring the transmitter over. The transmitter, I thought at the beginning when I seen it on Banggood.com, it looked really good. It still does feel pretty good, you know, a little bit toyish feeling, but good. The only thing I don't like is the switch here, because everything, you've got your altitude hold, you've got your GPS and your return to home all on one switch. I don't like that at all. I would have liked to have seen at least another switch over here, maybe say for just changing GPS, at least GPS at this side, altitude hold here, because you've got these two and this button here will switch, and they're nothing, they're not even trim buttons, they're nothing at all. This is your electrical fence switch here, and we'll go over the other buttons here. This is for taking a photo, this one's for taking a video, and this one is for speed. Now you've got high and low speed setting. Let me just turn it on and let you see for yourself. Let me get my light out of the way. Can I bring it a little bit closer? And I'll press that speed button. Look at the bottom left, you see a H and you see an L, and you can see it switching there, high and low. And it's, the telemetry is really good indeed. It tells you everything you need to know: your height, your distance, how many satellites you've got, how fast you're going, what mode you're in, the speed, when you're returning to home, if you're in altitude hold, you name it, it's got everything there that you need to know. When the motors are unlocked, everything is there. Sorry about that, but my camera decided not to want to focus, but now it is. But the transmitter is really good indeed. Now on the other side you have, this is to start the motors up, or one key take off and land, and you also have headless mode. I forgot to tell you that you do have headless mode, but you can also start the quadcopter up. You can start the motors up by pushing inwards like so. You can stop them by pushing outwards like so, and you can also stop it by just pushing down. I generally just push it in, start the motors up, and just push up on the stick, and off we go. And as you notice there, when I do that, you can see it shows you the speed that I'm going at. So the telemetry on the transmitter is really good indeed, and I must apologise for my light there. I'm going to turn that off just now, because what we are going to do is we're going to attach the phone holder. Now where's the screwdriver? Now what you want to do is take the screw out of the side, and there's also a little washer there. Don't lose that little washer, okay? And we will pop that end onto the antenna and push the other end right in there like so. So there you go, you have it over the antenna and in like so, and we'll put the screw in. That's a phone holder. I'm not too keen on the phone holder, to be truthful. I think it's too loose. Now let me just bring my phone over. It's got a cover on it. It's quite a thick cover. So if I was to put it, yeah, see what happened there? If I was to put it there with my phone cover on, watch this. It fell off. Now I don't want to have to be taking my protective cover off my phone every time I'm wanting to clip my phone onto the transmitter, and it really is quite loose. The spring is quite loose. I'm a bit worried about that, you know, but we'll see how that goes. Now we are going to calibrate the quadcopter, the compass on the quadcopter. Now it's really easy indeed. Now what you want to do is turn your transmitter on first. Right, so we'll get the transmitter on. That light's really annoying. Turn the quadcopter on, and we are going to push down on the left stick and up on the right stick like so, and the light, you'll see blue flashing lights at the front. Now what you want to do is turn it left. And you've got to keep turning it left for quite a while. I think it's about 7 turns. Until we see green lights. Have we seen green lights yet? Not quite. No. Come on. Where are you? There you go, we'll get green lights. And what you want to do after that is you want to point the nose up and turn it left. So we're pointing it up and turning it left. Now on the bugs you turn it right. I usually turn it right on the bugs. But we're going to turn it left because that's what it says. Now we have solid green light at the back and solid blue light at the front. And if I was to just set the quad there, it's in altitude hold mode. So if I was to push both of the sticks inwards, which I'm going to do now, there you go. And that's the quadcopter started up. And if I just push down on the stick, I don't want to get too close to the quad, I push down on the stick and that's it, stopped the motors. Or you can just push outwards on the stick to stop the motors. Right, so that's as easy as it is to calibrate the compass on the quadcopter. Really, really easy indeed. Now I'm just going to turn it off just now. I'm going to turn the transmitter off because you know why. We have an app to deal with. But before the app, I want to go through the manual. I must admit, this is one of the best manuals I have seen to date because it's got everything that you need to know is here step by step. It is the best manual that I've seen to date that Eachine had given out. It really is indeed. So just follow the manual and you cannot go wrong. Now the app, the Eachine Fly app, I'm afraid to say, Eachine, you need to get it updated because it does not work with the Wi-Fi FPV. I had to use the JJ RC app to get the Wi-Fi FPV running. Now, so if you look in the link in the description below, there's a link to downloading the JJ RC app on your phone. So I'm going to boot it up just now. Let me turn the quadcopter back on yet again. Go into my Wi-Fi settings. You are looking for UAF and connect. And I'm going to boot up the JJ RC app and press connect. And there you see we have a picture. There's a picture. Now what I'm going to do, hold on, give me a second. What have we got here? Let me see. I need a box or something. I'll just use this. I'm just going to pop it up a bit. There you go. Now I'm going to show you the latency. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. It's quite fast. The buttons are the standard. Take a picture, record, go into your folder. That's usually your rate, so your speed button, on and off, your extra settings. When I had put the camera onto the quadcopter, it was upside down, so I had to hit the reverse button. So if you find that your camera is upside down, just hit that reverse button and you will be good. You can also calibrate the compass from here as well, but I would not fly the quadcopter using the app whatsoever. But that's the app, easy and simple. That is the quadcopter, and I'm turning it off. Let me just have a look. Yep, I knew I missed something because I always do. The transmitter takes 4 AA batteries, 2 speeds on it. Maximum range on the transmitter is 500 meters. Maximum range on the Wi-Fi FPV on 5G is round about 200 meters. So if you want to, which you know I'm going to, more than likely, put a little micro camera on top, because what I'm going to do is bring this over. And I know it's a bit of a mess. This is my Bugs 2C. I never did get round to taking all this tape off because I've been too busy doing reviews and flying and doing other stuff. So I'm going to find out the sweet spot on this new Eachine EX1 where I can put a little micro FPV 5.8 gigahertz camera with VTX on here. I don't know where the best place would be, like I says, but I do have a plan. I'm not going to share it with you just now, but that's it. It's coming up for Christmas now. Tomorrow is going to be raining. The next day is Christmas Day. I could get a flight in then, and I want to, but then again I probably won't be allowed to again. So I'll get a flight as soon as possible, my friends. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This baby will be up and flying out in the field, and we'll see what it can do, and hopefully it doesn't have the problem that the DJI RC X3 has. And until then, happy flying.